Why did God allow Hitler to kill 6 million Jews? Why does God let normal, healthy, innocent children die of natural disasters and severe diseases and war? God is disinterested in human affairs. And if he is disinterested in human affairs, why would anybody worship him?
When God became a human being, what happened to him? Okay, now he's a classic example of what I'm talking about. He asked a very hard, very serious question, and before he even allowed me to answer, he walked away. Is that being open-minded? No, he didn't ask a question. He made a point.
But
he disguised it in the form of a question. That is intellectual dishonesty.
I was just saying I'd like to hear the answer to that question. Why should we worship him
Thank
if he
you.
either doesn't care if we die
Thank
or
you
if
very
he's
much.
not all-powerful?
I appreciate your honesty. First point. When we say that God is all-powerful, we do not mean that everything that happens is God's will. Why? The all-powerful God chose to limit his power by creating us with a free will. So if I walk up to her, smack her beautiful face, and then turn to you and say, God made me do it, I'm a liar, I'm a con artist. God gave me a hand for a purpose, to respect her and to love her. But because I have a free will, if I choose to abuse this hand, roll it into a fist and send it crashing into her beautiful face, and then have the audacity to say, God made me do it, I'm a liar and I'm a con artist.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. First of all, let's talk about the man.
Which one?
The first guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard when people already have their mind made up about who God is or some particular subject, and they ask a question. They make a point in the form of a question and then leave.
Right.
I mean, his heart was already hardened, and that's disruptive. Not to
He
mention,
was ranting.
He was ranting. He already
wasn't trying. He wasn't seeking truth. He just wanted to accuse God, essentially, of all of the wrong in this world.
But the bad part about that is that exonerates. When you take that perspective, that exonerates man of any responsibility.
Right.
So basically, if man does anything, then that's all God's fault.
Mm-hmm.
That's all God's fault. But then if God came down and actually made it such that we didn't have free will, then everybody would say, well, God's a dictator. God has created us to be robots.
Right.
So in that case, it's like a no-win. You're either going to be mad that God let you have free will, or you're going to be mad that he took your free will away.
Right.
And I just, it's just as far as the guy was concerned. Like he said, I mean, that's intellectual dishonesty. I agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
But God is good.
All the time.
And all the time,
God is good.
he is that. But I respect my man for how he handled that, though.
Yeah.
Like his demeanor. I wish that more Christians were able, more followers of Jesus were able to absorb the frustrations and the anger that people have from either being blinded or hurt and broken, and be able to respond to them with love and truth that would in turn turn the lights on and enable them to be able to see. And then when you are able to see clearly, then you do see man's responsibility for why things are the way they are and God's desire to change man. And then man end up changing the world that he is a part of. So yeah.
I agree with you. I think when you see people like that, you should have compassion on them, because they are like that way for a reason. You just never know what people have gone through, not to make excuses for them, but when Jesus looked at the people, he always saw them with compassion. And so we should lead from a place of that. We should lead from a place of love and compassion when we encounter people who don't know him, who don't understand how we got to this place that we're in this world. how, bad things are happening to good people. That's always the question that we get. Why do bad things happen to good people? But the word says that it rains on the just and the unjust.
Yes,
Life
it does.
happens to everybody, whether you know the Lord or you don't. The thing is your response to those things that happen to you. If you know the Lord and you follow his plan and his word, then your response will be different than someone who doesn't know him.
That's right.
So,
And there's hope.
and there's hope.
There is hope for the believer.
Absolutely.